Here's a really quick review of what my thoughts are of the Nikon D750. I'm doing it on my iPod just now because my Mac has unfortunately died and I'm just using a really old computer just now. So the D750 has just come out. They're saying it is finally the upgrade that everyone's been wanting for the Nikon D700. I totally disagree. I'm not saying that this isn't a great camera and it has amazing stats and it's 24 megapixels and it's 6.5 frames a second, all that stuff, very, very good. However, what I do believe is it's not an upgrade to the D700, really. What I would say is that what we were really hoping for, if you look on some of the forums, a lot of people are saying this really looks size-wise and body shape like a Nikon D610 now with a flippy screen, and that's about it. Oh, and a better autofocus. So it's got a better autofocus, the one which is in the Nikon D810, and it can focus down to -3 EV, which means you can pretty much focus in total darkness, which is really good. But the body itself, and like as many of you know, like the Nikon D3X is still a camera which is for sale, and it still costs loads because it's in an awesome body. So a lot of people, and when the Nikon D700 came out, everyone said this is an amazing camera because it totally fitted into the ecosystem at the time, which was the Nikon D300, the DX body, the Nikon D3, which was the full frame Pro size body, and then in the middle came the one with the same sensor as the Pro but in a body which is very similar to the DX size camera, and everyone's like, that is fantastic, it works all the way. We could use this, the extra battery pack from the D300, and we could use it in the D700. So that was all brilliant. It was an ecosystem of stuff where all the buttons were in the same layout and all that stuff, apart from all the buttons in the Pro camera, the D3 at the time was completely different, obviously. But it meant so many people could just go from a Nikon D3 to a Nikon D700 and not have to faff around trying to figure out where new things were and all that kind of stuff. With this really looks like not a D700 upgrade, because that would be more of a Pro solid larger body, and it doesn't seem to have that at all. If it was my choice and if it was saying, Dom, well, you never seem to be happy with whatever camera comes out, what it really feels like at the moment is that they've just used like recycled Nikon D600 bodies which were all sent back because there was the dust problem, and said, do something, change the back, put it on a flippy screen, and let's put in a better autofocus. There's no real increase. Yeah, there's better video and all that kind of stuff and an X-Speed 4 processor, but it's not really going, ooh. For me, what the best camera would be going for a Nikon D810 firmware and gubbins inside, but with the 24 megapixel sensor. So it's more the camera body that's made everyone just kind of go, this isn't a D700 replacement, this is just a D600 Mark III. You know, they've had the D600, the D610, and this looks more like a D610S, or F for flippy screen, or swivel screen I think they call it. So for me, the perfect camera for me would be a Nikon D810, but with something like the D4S sensor, even just the D4 sensor, to say even just, or even just the 24 megapixel. What people really want is a Pro body with maybe a less megapixels and possibly just a little bit better low light ISO performance, because the sensors just now are fantastic. There's no doubt behind that, no doubt about that. All the sensors are giving fantastic images from Nikon. They're all Sony sensors, and they're all absolutely brilliant. You will get fantastic images. So really the thing about these cameras now is all about the bodies which they're in and how well you can connect with other stuff. So for me, I think what I'd want is a camera, same body as the Nikon D810, so I could go to like a wedding with two camera bodies, maybe have just one single battery pack that I could use on extra on both of them. But that's about it. And if you don't need the 36 megapixels, sure, you've got the RAW S version on the D810, but what's the point of using RAW S if you can just get a camera with less megapixels? So personally for me, it's Nikon could have totally owned it by making it the D810, but with a Nikon D4 sensor, and then it would be like, oh, this wins! But it hasn't done that. Anyway, that's just my opinion, my quick opinion. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm not saying it's not a great camera, it's just not the camera which I think is actually replacing the Nikon D700. Okay, there you go. Bye-bye.